Have you ever had a strange feeling that someone around you is not completely happy for you? They smiley talk normally, even support you on the surface, but something feels slightly off. Maybe it is the way their energy changes when you share. Good news are how their reaction feels just a little less genuine than others. The confusing part is they never actually say anything negative. They never criticize you directly, never openly disagree with it. Something in their behavior feels different. Psychology suggests that jealousy is rarely expressed directly because most people do not want to admit jealousy, even to themselves. Instead, it appears through subtle behaviors, small reactions, and emotional inconsistencies, and in many cases, your brain notices these signals before you consciously understand them. That comfortable feeling, you get it. Slight hesitation, that moment of doubt. Often your mind picking up emotional patterns. In this video, you will discover 10 scientifically supported signs. Someone may be jealous of you even if they never say it directly. Sign 1. They give backhanded compliments. At first, it sounds like a compliment. You listen carefully, something feels slightly negative. For example, instead of saying, "You worked hard," they might say, "You are lucky." Instead of saying, "You earned it," might say, "It was easy for you." And these small word choices matter. Research in social psychology suggests that when people feel threatened by comparison, they may use indirect language to reduce the impact of someone else's success. This connects to cognitive dissonance. They want to appear supportive. Internally, they feel uncomfortable, so the brain creates a compromise. A compliment mixed with subtle dismissal, your mind picks up that contradiction even if you cannot explain its sin. To they minimize your achievements. You share something important, something that required effort, team, or sacrifice. Their reaction feels underwhelming. They say something like, "That is nice here." Quickly move the conversation forward. They do not ask deeper questions. She do not show curiosity. According to social comparison theory proposed by Leon Festinger, people evaluate themselves by comparing to others. When someone perceives you as ahead, it creates internal pressures. So instead of fully acknowledging your success, they reduce its importance. Not because they hate you, but because it protects their self-image. Sign 3. They constantly compare themselves to you. You may start noticing a pattern. Every time you talk about your progress, they bring themselves into the conversation. Mention something you achieved and they respond with something they did not. Always in a negative way, but consistently. This is comparison-based thinking, where your life becomes a reference point for theirs, and instead of connections, interaction becomes evaluation, which is one of the strongest psychological triggers of jealous sin. For they seem more engaged when things go wrong for you. This is one of the most revealing signs, but also one of the hardest to accept. When something positive happens, their reaction is minimal, but when something goes wrong, they become more present. They ask more questions. She respond faster. They seem more emotionally involved. Psychologists explain this as emotional balancing, where someone may feel relief when comparison pressure is reduced, even if they are not aware of it. Our behavior reflects it. Sign 5. They start copying you. At first, it feels like admiration. They like your style, your choices, your ideas. But over time, it starts to feel different. They begin to mirror your actions closely, almost as if they are trying to match your. Research shows that imitation can reflect both connection and competition, and jealousy, it often reflects internal comparison. They see something in you and, instead of appreciating it, try to recreate its. Sign 6. They become distant over time. This change is usually gradual. They do not suddenly disappear, but communication slowly decreases. They reply less, engage less, show less interest. This connects to emotional regulation, where people avoid situations that trigger uncomfortable feelings. And if your presence triggers comparison, distance becomes a coping strategy, not because they dislike you, but because they do not know how to process what they feel. Sensate in their reactions feel emotionally inconsistent. You share something exciting and they respond correctly, but not genuinely. Their words are positive, Their tone feels flat there. Expression does not match their message. Psychology shows that humans are extremely sensitive to emotional congruence. When and emotions do not align, your brain detects it instantly, and that creates the feeling that something is not right. Sign 8. They talk about you in subtle ways. Jealousy is often expressed indirectly. They may mention you in conversations, compare you to others, slightly reduce your achievements, not in an obvious negative way but in subtle ways that shift perception. This helps them manage internal discomfort without confronting their feelings directly. Sign 9. They compete with you without saying it too. May notice a pattern whenever you grow. Respond with growth whenever you improve. Try to match it, not openly but through behavior. This reflects a psychological need to restore balance triggered by comparisons, so instead of connections, relationship becomes silent competition. Sign 10. Your intuition keeps noticing something. The final sign is your intuition, and this is one of the most powerful signals. Psychology shows that your brain constantly processes micro-behaviors, facial expressions, tone shifts, body language, timing of responses. Even when you are not consciously analyzing it, your brain is collecting data. And that feeling that something is off is often your brain recognizing patterns before your conscious mind understands them. Conclusion: jealousy is a natural human emotion. Everyone experiences it, but when it becomes consistent in behavior, it starts to shape relationships. Understanding these signs is not about judging others, it is about awareness, because awareness allows you to respond with clarity, protect your emotional energy, and maintain healthy boundaries. It allows you to step back, observe, and choose how you engage on. Once you start recognizing these patterns, you begin to see them everywhere in conversations, and professional environments, and that awareness changes the way you understand people completely. If you enjoy exploring the psychology behind human behavior, subscribe to Brain Cipher for more insights into what people feel but do not always say.